Hi, Andreas Nilsson here, and I will demonstrate my homemade hybrid piano. A few months ago I changed my grand for this Swedish 1915 Ekströms piano. The piano was in quite bad condition and needed some restoration and regulation. It was terribly out of tune and had many loose tuning pins, but I could hear that it had the potential of becoming a really great sounding piano again. So I had it regulated and I fixed the loose tuning pins using the CA glue method, but it wasn't enough, so I had to hammer the tuning pins in for the piano to stay in tune. So here is how it sounds now. It's a really tall upright piano, measuring 145 centimeters. Although my grand was 170 centimeters, the longest bass string in this piano is actually 10 centimeters longer than in my grand. Just listen here. It's always wonderful to play a real acoustic piano, but as you see here, I have my piano in my living room with family maybe watching TV or reading. And maybe you don't want anyone else to hear when you practice. I've known about acoustic pianos with so-called silent technology for many years, and I've been quite fascinated by it. So I looked around for a system that could be retrofitted to an old piano, and I found the German adsilent system. A quality system that seemed to fit my needs very well. So I bought the system through a piano technician and installed it. The system consists mainly of 4 parts. It's a key sensor bar, pedal sensors, a mute rail and a sound module. The key sensor bar is mounted under the keys and reads the key movements optically without ever touching the keys. So you're not changing how the keys feel when you play. The mute rail stops the hammers from reaching the strings when you play in silent mode, and you engage the mute rail with a mute lever under the key bed. I have to point out that installing a silent system should be done only by a trained technician. It's definitely not IKEA. In my case, I had to make permanent modifications to the piano to make it fit, and I also adjusted the let-off distance, but it worked out well. The system now works as it should, and anyone in the family can play silently with headphones. Another cool thing when you have an electronic sound module in your piano is that you can play with any sound and layer that with the acoustic piano sound. You can connect speakers to the piano and play with the extra sounds that come with the silent system. Or you can control a computer synth via USB MIDI with any sound you can think of. It feels a bit unnatural when you play the piano and the sound comes from speakers some distance away, and you don't get that so-called sympathetic string resonance from the strings in the piano when the sound comes from the speakers. Before buying the silent system, I had seen both Yamaha, Kawai and Steingräber pianos using the piano's own soundboard as the speaker. The soundboard is made to vibrate by transducers mounted to it. So I got a pair of transducers, or exciters as they are also called, and started experimenting with these on the soundboard. When I had found the best sound spots, I attached them and played music through the soundboard, and it sounded surprisingly good. I could now play music from Spotify through the soundboard while playing along on the piano acoustically. After having installed the adsilent system, the next step was of course to integrate it with the soundboard transducers. Down here you can see the installation. The signal from the adsilent sound module goes to a small mixer together with the signal from a Chromecast audio and an iPad, and then to a small Class D amplifier before it goes to the actual transducers. So now I can play any digital sound through the piano's own soundboard together with a string resonance. I will give you some examples of how it sounds. Here is the acoustic piano layered with a classic electrical piano. If you layer it with some soft strings, you can get this sound. And if you mute the acoustic piano and only play with the digital piano through the soundboard with the natural string resonance, it sounds like this. So now you have seen how I have transformed my 107-year-old piano with a silent system, an amplifier and a pair of transducers. Thanks for watching.